'Twas the night before Christmas. Santa was in flight, making deliveries all through the night. Out of nowhere, it seemed, an accident happened, leaving Santa's sleigh a wreck and his face slightly blackened. I'm scared and confused, and also quite bruised. How will I get this fixed? Insurance companies are so scary. You should call 1-800-ASK-GARY. When he called, it was simple. He said with a laugh and a twinkle. So remember, whatever the accident reason, call 1-800-ASK-GARY this holiday season. Free attorney and medical referral service. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Giving season is in full swing. Make every moment count. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Merry Christmas to all, and for all, a good price.
Only one team gets this wild.
Act surprised when they announced team captain. I was thinking about going Will Smith, like.
And that's before they even take the field. Get in the game.
And see. Weeknights at 5 on CW17.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of 1010XL tonight, brought to you by Zaxby's. Frank Frangie, Jeff Prosser. These are good days.
Yeah, we're
good days.
We're in the victory formation right now, but Frank, watch your knees.
Okay.
Because those Seattle Seahawks will come after him when you're trying to take a knee to win the game.
Boy, that was awful.
Yeah,
awful ending to it. But I think you can figure out by now what is our big thing.
The Big Thing is brought to you by Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
This team has built toward this, Jeff. They have built toward it. It was as big a day as we've had in Jacksonville in a long, long time. It truly was. And, man, they were equal to it. A defensive game early on, and then it turned into this. That was a big answer after Seattle had tied the game. Jags go on to win it. What a gigantic win. One of the biggest regular season wins really in a long, long time.
I think it's our biggest big thing of the year. I'll go that far. And, listen, Leonard Fournette ran for 100. The special teams were good. The defense, other than a couple of big plays. But I really thought yesterday was about Blake Bortles. I mean, here is a guy that we know what the bottom is for Blake Bortles. We've seen it too many times. That's a really good defense. He outplayed Russell Wilson. With two good defenses on the field, Blake Bortles was the more impressive quarterback. I would have never imagined that a month ago. And do you know this? As we sit here 2 games into December, the quarterback with the highest passer rating in the month of December in the NFL, number 5.
How about that?
118.
And I agree with you. And he made a lot of really good throws. That throw that D.D. Westbrook laid out and made a great catch, but it was a gigantic third down throw, and it was right on the money. And they did make life tough for Russell Wilson. Yes, he made some big plays. He's going to make some big plays. But they made life tough for him. Huge sack there by Malik Jackson. I think a lot of things came out of this game, and I think you hit it. Number 5 really played well. They gave it to Leonard Fournette to run out the clock. That was the biggest play of the game because that salted away the game. Then obviously the game got ugly at the end. The Jags go on to win it. They hold on 30-24. So many storylines in this game. But I think Jeff hit it. Blake Bortles has been so maligned for so long. Everybody has talked about how bad he is, and let's get rid of him and bring in the next guy. And I still think part of that story is left to be told. I don't know what's going to happen next year. But he's playing well right now. His numbers are very good. I didn't know the number you just said, but I know he's played very well. I also can tell you in the locker room, they trust him. They respect him. He doesn't complain. He just goes on, puts on his work hat, and goes and does his job. Yesterday was about Blake Bortles outplaying Russell Wilson, and that's got a lot to do with the Jags being 9-4.
I'll tell you this, too. I mean, if we go into next year and Blake Bortles is happily the starting quarterback of the Jaguars, it may be the biggest comeback story in the history of Jacksonville sports. I mean, this guy has risen from the ashes, at least from what most people thought of him. I thought something else that really should be noted from yesterday is a reminder of what game day in an NFL town can be. Mm-hmm. The crowd was outstanding. It was packed to the gills. They were excited. They got a good football game to boot. And here's hoping we have a lot more of that here in the next few years. And then the last thing, give Doug Marrone credit. You know, he's baloney Maroney, and he's a blue collar, just kind of disheveled. But he knows how to push the buttons on his football team. And Michael Bennett of the Seahawks made a comment last March that most NFL games are close. Most teams aren't going to lose by 50 like the Jaguars. Something to that effect. Now, that team was thinking about that in that game yesterday. They talked about it a lot in the post-game locker room. So huge win for the Jaguars, and they find themselves now alone in first place in the AFC South because the Tennessee Titans, quite frankly, are not playing good football. They've lived on the edge for, maybe 6 weeks. and the edge kind of crumbled yesterday. And Marcus Mariota's not playing very well either, Frank.
And he got hurt yesterday. We don't know how serious, but you're right about that. Offensively, they just haven't been a very good team throughout the course of the season. Then they lose their quarterback. They lose on the road to Arizona. You know what was cool about that too, Jeff, as that game moved on yesterday? Was watching the scoreboard. Been a long time since we've been able to do some scoreboard watching. And the crowd, and it's a good crowd, it's a smart crowd, they knew what was going on in this game. They knew the Titans were losing this game. Arizona had a lot of chances to kind of put it away, wound up putting away at the end. I think the crowd was caught up in it. You talked about the crowd. It was a great crowd for Jacksonville. But they were following that game. Every time the score would go up. When Arizona went ahead, you heard a cheer. When Arizona scored again, made it 12-7, you heard a cheer. And then when it went final, when all the fighting stuff was going on, but the crowd was very caught up in it. So I agree with you. It was a marvelous crowd. Think about this. The Jags are 6-1 in their last 7 games, 6-1. The only loss is to a 57-yard field goal with 1 second left, the guy's career best. That's the only thing from keeping them from having won 7 in a row. That's how well they're playing.
Well, so many good things to take out of yesterday, and maybe the best of them all, the top of the standings. Because if you look at the AFC South now, you'll find the Jacksonville Jaguars at 9-4. Look, the Titans got some issues here. They got to go play at San Francisco next week. Then they host the Rams, and the Jaguars found out at home how tough a deal that is. And then they have to face a team that right now, and we get so ahead of ourselves in the NFL. Week 4, you feel like you know everything about every team. It's such a long season, so many ups and downs. And right now, the Jaguars are playing much superior football to the Titans. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans not only didn't win the division, but missed out on the playoffs altogether.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. By the way, we always want to know what you think about all this madness. That's why we have something we call Twitter time, and we welcome in Donna Murphy. Hey, D. Murphy.
Oh, hello, guys. A very happy Victory Monday to you all. So let's go ahead, get right to it. First question is, what are the chances that Blake is our quarterback next year?
I'll tell you what, Jeff said it a minute ago. If you had asked me that question 5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, I'd have said none. He's making a case. He's building a case. He's under contract next year. So there's no contract stuff you got to deal with. I would have never believed it. Now I'm starting to believe that maybe, just maybe, he is back next year. I still think they draft a guy, Jeff. But yeah, I think there's a possibility now.
Well, I think a good way to answer the question, what are the chances that Blake is the quarterback next year, could be this. You're not disappointed that he's the quarterback next week. And he's had 2 incredible back-to-back games, and this is the first time against, a really good team. Baltimore has turned out to have a good defense, but when the Jags whooped up on him, and what I thought was Blake's best game before yesterday, it didn't quite feel the same. But we know what the Seahawks defense is. Other than cheap, dirty, cheap shot, loser, crybaby, sore losers, we know that they're also a very good defense. And he picked them apart yesterday with every throw.
So he might be.
I think the chances are right now favorable that he's at least a part of the mix, next year.
D-Mark, give us one more here as we get going.
Well, sticking with the hometown team, are you surprised that the Jaguars are this good, or did you think it might happen?
Well, there's not a person in the world. You can go research any preseason prognostications. Vegas, there's nobody that thought they'd be 9-4 with the best defense in the NFL, you could argue. So I thought they'd be better because it's such a sketchy division. I picked them to win the division before the season started, but I thought 8-8 or 9-7 may do it. And they're at 9 wins already, headed for most likely 11 and maybe even 12. So, no, I don't think I completely saw this. I don't think anyone did.
I wasn't even close. I did not pick them to win the division. I thought the Titans would win the division. I thought the Jags would get to 6 or 7 wins. I thought 3 wins to 6 or 7 wins, and then the big move, if there was going to be a big move, would be next year. I never saw this coming. And then in August, I felt even worse about it because they had such a bad preseason. But that tough preseason really led to this. So, no, I didn't see it coming. So, anyway, great times for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of good stuff going on.
Well, the First Coast goes 1 for 4 in their quest for high school state championships. Our man on the scene was Ryan the Hacker Green. That's right. Coming up next, folks, it's been 14 weeks. You're going to meet the Hacker. Stay tuned.
I'm David Robbins with the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. When you or someone you know is arrested, you will go in front of a judge within a matter of hours, and the decisions you make at that time can have a serious and permanent impact on your life. Time is of the essence. That's why we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help. If you or a loved one is arrested, call Epstein & Robbins immediately. We can be by your side for those crucial moments. Visit FLDUIDefense.com. We're Epstein & Robbins, and we're here to help.
The Subaru Share the Love event is on at Jack Hanania's Subaru of Orange Park. Drive a new Outback Limited, just $269 a month. Or a new Impreza Premium, just $179 a month. Plus get 2 years complimentary maintenance. Buy today and a $250 donation will be made to one of 5 charities at Jack Hanania's Subaru of Orange Park.
Jags fans, this season, Dreamfinders Homes is again giving you a shot to win your dream home. That's right. If the Jaguars return a punt for a touchdown at Everbank Field, one lucky Jags fan will have the chance to win $100,000 towards a Dreamfinders home. This year, it could be you. Visit a Dreamfinders Homes model home today to register for the Take It to the House promotion. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Introducing the all-new delivery pouch from Pizza Hut. Thanks to 3 layers of thermal insulation, your pizza arrives oven hot. It's like having our oven right in your kitchen. Well, pretty close. Try it with the best pizza delivery deal. Large 2 topping, just $7.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Rubenstein Law recently got a client $850,000 for a car accident. When you need an attorney, call Rubenstein Law.
I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein. Call me. I want to be your attorney.
Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. Look, we are very excited about our high school football here. We talk about it all the time. 4 teams, 4 made state title games. Only won 1. We'll talk about that in a minute. Bigger news. You get to meet a real live radio star. Ryan Green, the hacker, joins us now. He is our high school guy. How you doing there, buddy?
Frank, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on.
It's great to see you. What a great season.
Hacker before noon, we call it.
That's hacker. That's exactly right.
That's right.
Early hacker. Heck, what a year for Raines. Let's start with Raines. They won a state title. Only 2 state titles for public schools ever in Jacksonville. Raines has them both. Why was this team so good? I mean, obviously they're athletic, but Deron Wiley had a lot to do with that, right?
He had a lot to do with it. In fact, it's 9th year, Frank, at Raines. He really turned the program around. I mean, Deron Wiley inherited a Raines team that was on down times. He gets back at Raines and does a great job. Again, year number 9, their 2nd state title game. I had Deron Wiley on 1010XL last week after the win, and he said this one was even sweeter because keep in mind, 2 years ago, they had Booker T. Washington almost beat in a state championship matchup, let it get away in the 4th quarter. 2 years later, they're able to avenge that loss, get a state title. First state title for a Duval County public school in 20 years.
I remember that first one. Not proud to say that. Things are getting old, right?
I remember a lot of teams before they won that one.
But this
was, and this Ivory Durham guy, Hacker, tell me more about him. He's a little guy. I don't know if he's going to be very good in college.
That's the quarterback.
He's a quarterback. But what a charismatic, exciting, what a winner. You still, I don't care what level it is, you got to have that guy, don't you? You have to have that winner. And Ivory Durham, the quarterback, made a big play in the game, made big plays all year long.
Frank completely put the team on his back. No question about it. Ivory Durham put the team on his back, willed them to victory in the 4th quarter. Keep in mind, they were losing to Cocoa in the 4th quarter. Durham scored a touchdown with about 6 minutes to go. Raines ends up winning that game 13-10. This was a Cocoa team that Raines beat that already had wins over Trinity Christian and Bartram Trail this year. Bartram Trail we'll talk about in just a moment. So this was a very accomplished Cocoa team, but Ivory Durham willed them to victory in the 4th quarter, and I thought it was great, the interaction he had with some of the local media, including Dan Hicken down there in Orlando. Ivory Durham is a very, very quality young man.
University Christian feels what it's like to lose one of these things after winning 2 in a row.
Yeah, David Penland had got them to 2 victories in a row in the state championship game. In fact, they had a rematch, Jeff, against the team they played last year in Champagnat. They lost the game 24-7. University Christian was a team that was kind of rebuilding this year a little bit. They didn't have the veteran leadership that they had in the last couple of years at the high school ranks. Still a very good year. I mean, certainly you get to a state title game, the 3rd state title game in a row, but they just didn't have it coming down the stretch. And congratulations to Champagnat. That was a good victory for them over University Christian to win that state title.
How about the Bartram team, Hacker? Obviously, Bartram had a very good team as well. 2 quarterbacks. They made that quarterback thing work all year long, right up until the very end, and then they battled back in this game, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Joey Gatewood and Riley Smith did the combo quarterback deal for a long time. Bartram was down big to Venice, Frank. As you mentioned, they almost had a running clock go against them. They were down 31 points, but they battled and battled and battled, got it to 37-24 with 9 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Ultimately, they could not come all the way back. But Joey Gatewood is a young man that played his final game at Bartram Trail High School. He will be remembered in this area for a long time. I mean, you talk about Tim Tebow at Nice. You talk about Derrick Henry at Yulee. I'm not sitting here saying Joey Gatewood will have that type of career at Auburn, but he's capable of having that type of career. Joey Gatewood, I think, is going to do some great things in the college football game.
A couple of Heisman winners you just referenced there. All right, and last but certainly not least, I think the Baker County game kind of displayed some of the difficulties that it's been for North Florida, facing these more populated, more success-laden areas, and they ran into a handful.
American Heritage beat Baker County 44-15. American Heritage would have beaten a lot of teams in this country. American Heritage is coached by Patrick Surtain, the former NFL cornerback. They have 15 guys that will probably sign Division I.
15.
It's unbelievable, Frank. And look, American Heritage, that's 2 years in a row they beat a Northeast Florida team. Baker County this year, Ponte Vedra last year. I almost think the Baker County loss in 17 makes what Ponte Vedra did last year all the more impressive.
Lost by point,
well, 35-33. American Heritage beat Ponte Vedra last year. This year, 44-15. But take nothing away from Jamie Rogers and Baker County. Their first state title appearance, a great year for that program.
And a neat story. You saw him leaving. Jamie, he played there in '97. He is Baker County. He is McClenny. He's that guy. Congratulations to them for a very, very good season. Quick point, Hacker, 20 seconds here. Next year, who are the teams to watch? Who brings back good players? Who should we have our eye on next year in high school football in our area?
Oh, I think it's going to be a lot of the same. I think the League Generals under head coach O.J. Small will be very good. I certainly think Bartram Trail, even though they are losing a lot, they've built up that program. And keep an eye on a team like Ponte Vedra. This was almost a rebuild year for Ponte Vedra. The guys got a lot of experience this year. I think Ponte Vedra will be very good next year.
Thanks for stopping by. Great to see you.
Hey, Frank, Jeff, appreciate it, guys.
We introduced Hacker to the TV audience. That is great stuff. No question
That just happened.
Yeah, it did just happen. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get it to Florida State football. They've got a brand new football coach. How will Willie Taggart do? That'll be our discussion point after this. So come on back.
Lots of things are changing in Washington these days, but one thing that hasn't changed is getting Social Security disability benefits. It's still a long and tedious process. For over 25 years, we have recovered millions of dollars for our clients. Visit us at prwdisability.com or call now.
I don't know what you've been told. I don't know what you've been told. Where the best gear is sold. Where the best gear is sold. Tactical gear working more. Your Army, Navy outdoor store. Army, Army, Navy, Navy, Army, Navy. Outdoor.
Get all you need at Army Navy Outdoors. We're your tactical work and outdoor store. We carry a complete line of clothing and gear so you can have fun or work in comfort.
Army Navy Outdoors.
Automobile collisions happen in a split second, and no one is prepared for the disruption that follows. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't take responsibility when they've caused a collision. So we have investigators who will go to the scene of the accident, make sure that we have secured all the evidence from the day of the accident. We provide that to your insurance company and the at-fault driver's insurance company. We want you to be able to have the time you need to focus on getting better, and let us take care of the rest.
Before you sell your home, know the math. A $200,000 home, traditionally at a 6% commission, costs you $12,000. With First Coast Realty of Jacksonville, that same house with full service is listed for a flat fee of $575 plus 1% commission, which leaves a whole lot of savings for you. Full listing service for less. First Coast Realty of Jacksonville.
Introducing the all-new delivery pouch from Pizza Hut. Thanks to 3 layers of thermal insulation, your pizza arrives oven hot. It's like having our oven right in your kitchen. Well, pretty close. Try it with the best pizza delivery deal. Large 2-topping, just $7.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
I'm attorney Jason Porter. At our firm, our goal is to treat you the same way we would want to be treated. That means your calls and emails are promptly returned, your questions answered, and we'll keep you informed about your case. Problems? Pick Porter.
Only one team gets this wild.
Act surprised when they announced team captain. I was thinking about going Will Smith, like.
And that's before they even take the field. Get in the game.
And see. Weeknights at 5 on CW17.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. Glad you're with us on 1010XL tonight. In the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about Florida's new football coach, Dan Mullen. Florida State now has a new football coach in Willie Taggart. Only 1 year at Oregon, but he's a terrific football coach. He always wanted to be a Nole. So FSU worked very quickly. Jeff, I'm not even sure they talked to anybody else. They knew what they wanted to do when Jimbo Fisher left. I like the hire.
Yeah, listen, he was great in the press conference. He talked about how, long he's loved the Noles, his boyhood team. And he seems like a good fit. I guess I'm just a little bit shell-shocked about fit. I won't know if he's a good fit in 3 years. If he goes to FSU and wins and recruits and wins ACC titles and contends for Final Four bursts, then he'll be a fit. He can be as nice and love FSU all he wants, but if he's not winning double-digit games, then we'll have to revisit this conversation. But considering what a late start they got, thanks to that wonderful Jimbo Fisher who dropped a bomb on them, a week before the season finale, I think FSU did about as good as they could have hoped.
Here's why I love the hire. The same reason I really, really liked the hire with Dan Mullen. I'm tired. These are magnificent football programs that have been to the mountaintop. They've won championships. FSU, are you kidding me? To go with their 3 national titles, they had 14 straight top 4s under Bobby Bowden. That's unheard of. Yet Jimbo acts like, how can I possibly win here? The facilities aren't good enough. Why don't I have what the SEC teams have? Jim McElwain said the same thing. Why don't I have this facility or that facility? Dan Mullen came in and said, our facilities are great. Willie Taggart got up at that press conference. He was grinning so big I thought his face was going to break. He said, man, I was at midfield and I looked up, I couldn't believe it. And they put my name on the big screen and they spelled it right. He was awesome. These guys are happy to be. I think Willie Taggart, I love that he's there because he's thrilled to be there. We have 2 coaches now that are thrilled to be in their jobs, and that's why I'm thrilled. I can't wait to cover these guys. I mean, I think Taggart's a great hire for FSU.
Well, it's going to be interesting, too, to kind of gauge these two. It's not often that each program hires a new head coach in the same year. I'm not sure it's happened before. I don't have to go back and look. So it'll be interesting to gauge that as we move along. From one guy's boyhood dream to another who played out on Saturday night.
This year's Heisman Trophy winner is Baker Mayfield of the University of Oklahoma.
Yeah, this was a no-brainer. I'm not sure I've ever watched a Heisman ceremony more sure that a player was going to win the award than I was with Baker Mayfield. He was already the first guy to be a finalist 3 times. And I tell you what else is really a cool angle for Baker Mayfield. The guy was a walk-on. First walk-on player to ever win the Heisman. So think about that. Either he didn't get the school he wanted or he had some sort of academic issue or otherwise. But this is a guy who couldn't just get a full ride to a major college football program. And lo and behold, he worked his way into Oklahoma, and now he's a Heisman Trophy winner, a very, very exclusive club.
Yeah, I think so, too. And you know what else, too? I thought he was humble. I thought he handled it the right way. This guy had a poise about him. He knows he's been a little chippy. He's made some gestures he wished he didn't make because he's a feisty guy. Happy for Baker Mayfield. They got it right, and I think he's going to be a good pro, too. So I think they picked the right guy. Heisman Trophy winner, Baker Mayfield. One other thing we want to show you now before we take a break here. Let's get into basketball just for a second. The Florida Gator basketball team looked like all the rage before the season. Meanwhile, FSU, people didn't know a whole lot about them. Well, here's what I found out about FSU. They're tough and athletic and long and good again, at least in the early season. Well, they laid it to the Gators, Jeff.
They did, and look, FSU's got some company here in the Sunshine State, and it's not Florida, it's Miami. There are only 2 undefeated teams in the ACC right now. Not Duke, not North Carolina. It's FSU and Miami. So expect the season. Florida will be fine. Right. Florida followed that up with an embarrassing loss to Loyola Chicago, but they went on the road this weekend and beat Cincinnati, a ranked team. And, yeah, I think we're headed for a basketball postseason that'll have the Gators, the Noles, and the Canes all involved.
No question. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch them, and they're all 3 very, very good teams. Got to do it in the end season, too. That's what we'll watch. All right, almost out of time, but we want to hear from you one more time. When we come back, it's more Twitter time with Donna Murphy, so stick around.
When it comes to tough, versatile workhorses, nothing compares to Kubota's full line of RTV Series utility vehicles. Engineered to last and designed to deliver, Kubota's RTV X Series doesn't just lead the way on rugged dependability, it leads the pack. From big jobs to small projects and daily chores. Choose from America's top-selling family of diesel utility vehicles to help you do it all.
Visit McClenny Equipment and Tractor or click metractor.com.
Sawyer Gas.
I'm Barry Rainey, General Manager for Sawyer Gas. On behalf of all our employees, I want to thank our valued customers for their business. Here at Sawyer Gas, serving our customers in a safe and responsible manner is our top priority. We are proud to be a part of the local community and participate in the many activities that support local charities and organizations that improve the neighborhoods where we work, live, and play.
Sawyer Gas, driving every day with Sawyer Gas.
I'm David Robbins with the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. When you or someone you know is arrested, you will go in front of a judge within a matter of hours, and the decisions you make at that time can have a serious and permanent impact on your life. Time is of the essence. That's why we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help. If you or a loved one is arrested, call Epstein and Robbins immediately. We can be by your side for those crucial moments. Visit FLDUIDefense.com. We're Epstein and Robbins, and we're here to help.
Lil Detroit.
Garber Auto Mall.
Lil Detroit.
Garber Auto Mall.
Either way you know or remember it, it relates to low prices, huge selections, and treating you like family. Located in the ever-growing city of Green Cove Springs, we are proud to be a part of over 3 decades of history serving thousands of area residents. Take the short drive or visit us online at GarberAutomall.com, but don't pay big city prices anymore.
Lil Detroit.
Garber Auto Mall.
Lil Detroit.
Garber Auto Mall.
Whether they're naughty.
Oh, come on, man.
Or nice, we're counting them down. The greatest holiday commercials countdown. Holiday special this Tuesday at 8, 7 Central.
The time for being daddy's little girl is over.
This is the part where we stop the Black Hood. But right now, I need you with me. I know where this ends. Death.
Riverdale, mid-season finale, this Wednesday at 8, 7 Central, only on the CW.
Welcome back to 1010XL. Tonight, you have the experts ready for you. That would be Frank Frangie and Jeff Prosser, ready and willing to answer those hard-hitting questions. All you need to do is use that hashtag #AskFrankAndJeff. So let's go ahead and go to the college realm, boys, from @Amanda Saltzman. How will Willie Taggart do as the FSU coach?
Yeah, we talked about it a second ago, Donna. It's tough to say. I think he will recruit very well. I haven't watched him enough as a game coach. I know this. He turned around Western Kentucky, that was a mess. He turned around USF, that was a mess. And he had a decent season despite losing his quarterback at Oregon. I haven't watched him as an X's and O's guy enough. I do think he's going to load up that roster just like Jimbo Fisher did.
Here's the challenge if you take one of these big jobs, Florida, Florida State, any of them. The fan base does not have the same expectation as when you became a hot coaching prospect turning another program around. In other words, Willie Taggart can go to USF and go 2-10. And then go 6-6, and then go 10-2, and they love him. Well, I mean, you never get past the 2-10 if you're at FSU. So he's going to have more talent here than he's had anywhere else. He seems like a good fit. He's a heck of a recruiter, and in college football, that's half the battle.
Donna, keep him coming.
Sure. Black and Gold 32 would like to know, what are the chances?
Is that you, Frank, or no?
No, it was not me.
Okay.
It was not me.
What are the chances that the Jags pass the Steelers and land with the #2 seed in the AFC?
Yeah, the chances aren't very good because those doggone, dirty, rotten Pittsburgh Steelers the last 2 weeks have had their feet right in the fire and pulled it out before they got burned. So, I mean, the Jags are 2 games back of Pittsburgh in the loss column. They do own the tiebreaker, but really needed Pittsburgh to lose that game last night. And don't forget they were down 17-0 at Cincinnati the week before. The Jaguars are this close to sitting in the 2 seed already.
I think when he wrote that tweet, the chances were very good because I thought they were going to lose last night. As it turned out, they won. I've always said all year long, I don't think the Steelers are that good, but 11-2 is 11-2, and they find a way to win these games. So they have done that. Donna, give us one more.
Some local love here with a football program. Why is the Reigns football program so good? And can any other public school program in Duval ever win a title?
All right. First of all, I think Reigns, they just get those kids in that community that want it so badly. They get good players. And now I think other players that might not even be in their zone matriculate there because they know they have a chance to win championships. But there's a passion about it for me, Jeff. So that's why they're passionate. The other school, you talked about it when we first started this show. There's another school that gets that kind of players and is well coached is Lee. Keep an eye on Lee for a state title.
Yeah, and look, Reigns has athletes. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about. They're pulling from a district over there where Reebald and Reigns both throughout their history, basketball and football, have had very good teams, and they've got good coaching. I mean, Duran Wiley, who Hacker talked about with us here, has done an unbelievable job. They barely missed winning one a couple of years ago. And, you know, before you blink, Reebald will get good again, too.
You better. It's Wintersville around here. Glad to have you with us. That's our program. So long.
Good night.
Come to Long's Wholesale Furniture, where you can take your furniture home for only $49 down with no credit needed. Apply in-store or online. Go to the financing page of our website for details. Long's Wholesale Furniture, brand name furniture for less.
To be continued.